Every night, millions of people spend more time scrolling than actually watching anything meaningful. The algorithm has become the new gatekeeper, deciding what stories deserve your attention. Netflix alone hosts over 15,000 titles, yet somehow nothing ever feels worth watching. We were promised infinite choice, but infinite choice quietly became its own kind of prison. The dirty secret of big streaming is that volume was never the same thing as value. Somewhere between the 10th superhero sequel and the 100th reality show, cinema started disappearing. Real film lovers began asking a dangerous question. Where do the serious movies actually live now? The answer, quietly and defiantly, had been building since 2007 in a small corner of the internet. A platform was born not from abundance, but from the radical belief in restraint and curation. MUBI launched in 2007 as a bold and completely counterintuitive experiment in digital film distribution. Its founding idea was almost laughably simple: show only 30 films at any given time. Each day, one new film arrives, and one film quietly disappears forever from the catalog. Founder F.A. Kakarel built the platform after struggling to find Yasujiro Ozu in a Singapore hotel. That small frustration sparked something much larger: a dedicated home for world cinema online. MUBI positioned itself not as a library, but as a living, breathing, opinionated film experience. The scarcity model was provocative, and in Silicon Valley's growth-obsessed culture, almost heretical. Critics laughed at the idea that less could compete against the infinite catalogs of giants. But MUBI wasn't trying to compete on size. It was competing on meaning, taste, and trust. That fundamental difference would come to define everything the platform stood for going forward. Curation is one of those words that gets used so casually it has nearly lost all meaning. At MUBI, curation is not an algorithm. It is a human being making a passionate argument. Every film chosen is a statement, a point of view, a deliberate invitation to see differently. MUBI's programmers think in terms of conversations between films across time, culture, and genre. A Japanese new wave film from 1968 might speak directly to a contemporary Romanian drama today. This connective tissue between films is what transforms a platform into a genuine cinematic education. MUBI. Notebook, the platform's editorial wing, publishes criticism that rivals any serious film journal. The writing doesn't just describe films, it contextualizes them within history, politics, and art. Subscribers don't just watch movies on MUBI, they develop an actual relationship with cinema itself. That distinction between passive consumption and active engagement is precisely where MUBI wins the argument. MUBI is the kind of place where Andrei Tarkovsky sits comfortably beside a debut Kenyan filmmaker. It has become one of the most important platforms for international cinema reaching Western audiences. Films from Iran, Senegal, Brazil, and South Korea find audiences they could never reach through traditional distribution. MUBI has rescued films that would otherwise vanish into the permanent silence of commercial irrelevance. Retrospectives of masters like Chantal Akerman or Abbas Kiarostami reach entirely new generations of viewers. Festival favorites from Cannes, Berlin, and Venice often find their broadest audiences through MUBI's platform. The platform functions as both a preservation project and a discovery engine simultaneously. Films that critics adore but distributors ignore finally have a dignified home and a real audience. MUBI doesn't just stream difficult films, it makes them feel necessary, urgent, and alive. There is something quietly radical about a platform that trusts its audience to handle ambiguity. Running a curated streaming platform in the age of Netflix is not a business plan. It is a belief system. MUBI operates on a subscription model that depends entirely on its audience being willing to pay for quality. For years, the platform operated without the vast capital infusions that defined its bigger competitors. In 2021, MUBI raised significant investment and began expanding its original productions aggressively. The platform started co-producing and acquiring films at Cannes, Sundance, and Toronto with real ambition. MUBIGO, a partnership offering subscribers weekly cinema tickets, was a genuinely brilliant structural idea. The move bridged the gap between digital convenience and the irreplaceable experience of theatrical viewing. MUBI now operates in over 190 countries, a global footprint few predicted possible. Its subscriber base has grown steadily, proving that niche markets can scale when the product is genuinely excellent. The gamble is still ongoing. But the evidence increasingly suggests the bet was never crazy at all. Netflix's recommendation algorithm processes billions of data points to tell you what you already like. MUBI's human programmers ask a completely different question. What do you need to see next? The algorithm optimizes for comfort. Editorial curation optimizes for growth, challenge, and transformation. Algorithms cannot feel the importance of a film whose time has finally arrived in the cultural conversation. A human programmer can connect a 60-year-old film to a current geopolitical crisis with devastating precision. The difference is between a mirror that shows you yourself and a window that opens onto the world. MUBI's model makes a fundamentally humanist argument at a time when technology keeps winning every other debate. Taste, knowledge, and passion cannot be coded. They have to be practiced and genuinely felt. MUBI is betting that audiences, deep down, can feel the difference between being served and being seen. The word cinephile once described someone who haunted art house theaters and read Cahiers du Cinéma. Today, it describes anyone who uses MUBI, which may be the platform's most unexpected cultural achievement. MUBI democratized cinephilia without cheapening it. A genuinely difficult and admirable balancing act. It gave film lovers a shared identity and a common language in an increasingly fragmented media world. Watching a MUBI film is a social act, even when you're sitting completely alone in a dark room. You know, somewhere across the world, another subscriber is watching the exact same film tonight. That shared temporal experience is something Netflix's infinite on-demand model simply cannot replicate. MUBI users report feeling genuinely educated, not just entertained, after extended time on the platform. The platform has created a genuine community of viewers who trust its judgment with their time. Trust, in a media landscape built on manipulation and engagement metrics, is a revolutionary currency. MUBI is no longer just a streaming service. It has quietly become a full-spectrum film company. Its production arm has backed films that went on to win major international awards and critical acclaim. Films like Triangle of Sadness and All Quiet on the Western Front carried MUBI's curatorial DNA. The company understands that the future of art cinema requires more than just distribution. It requires patronage. MUBI is positioning itself as the modern equivalent of the great European art house distributor of the 60s. Its theatrical partnerships are expanding, keeping cinema screens lit with films that deserve big, dark rooms. The platform is also expanding its publishing and editorial presence, deepening its roots in film culture. MUBI is making the argument that art cinema is not a dying genre, but a permanently vital one. Every acquisition, every co-production, every curated lineup is a statement of defiant cultural optimism. In an industry obsessed with scale, MUBI keeps proving that significance matters more than size. We are living through a genuine crisis of attention, and cinema is one of its most visible casualties. Films that demand patience, ambiguity, and silence struggle to survive in a 5-second scroll economy. MUBI exists as a structural argument against that economy, a refusal to accept its terms. It insists that some things require time, commitment, and the willingness to be genuinely uncomfortable. The platform has survived 17 years, not despite its limitations, but absolutely because of them. Its constraints force a quality of attention that unlimited access systematically destroys over time. MUBI is proof that there is a global audience hungry for films that treat them as intelligent adults. That audience grows quietly, film by film, conversation by conversation, one perfect curatorial choice at a time. The future of cinema depends on platforms willing to fight for its most challenging and necessary work. MUBI picked that fight deliberately, intelligently, and with a passion that feels increasingly rare and precious. In the end, MUBI is not just streaming films, it is keeping cinema's most vital promises alive.